Welcome to AI Theology, where we use artificial intelligence to explore theology, scripture, and the profound questions of faith. Today we ask, AI, how do exegesis and eisegesis shape Christian and Islamic theology?
Exegesis refers to directly interpreting Scripture based on its original context and meaning, while eisegesis involves reading external ideas into the text. Both processes have influenced theology across time. In modern times, movements like Protestant sola scriptura or Islamic Salafism aim to purify theology by emphasizing exegesis. However, even these movements reflect contemporary concerns, blending exegesis with new interpretive frameworks.
From our analysis, it seems that many exegetical elements of Christian theology, especially its core doctrines like monotheism, salvation, and prophethood, align closely with Islamic theology. Is this observation correct?
Yes, there's significant alignment in the core exegetical aspects of both Christianity and Islam. Both traditions emphasize monotheism, prophetic guidance, and the moral framework revealed through Scripture. However, the key difference lies in how these elements are interpreted and expanded. For example, Christianity interprets Jesus' role as central to salvation and grace. Islam views him as a revered prophet within a larger prophetic tradition, culminating in Muhammad. Despite these differences, their foundational messages about God, morality, and accountability overlap significantly, demonstrating shared theological roots.
Is the real difference between Christianity and Islam the divergence that occurred after Jesus' time? Or are there more foundational distinctions?
The divergence post-Jesus is indeed a major factor, but it's not the only one. Let's explore. Christianity evolved significantly after Jesus, particularly through doctrines shaped by early church councils, Greek philosophy, and institutional authority. The doctrine of the Trinity, original sin, and the central role of the church all emerged during this period, often expanding beyond what Jesus explicitly taught. Islam, on the other hand, rejects these developments. The Qur'an presents Jesus as a prophet, emphasizing his humanity and role within a broader prophetic tradition. It also refutes doctrines like the Trinity and original sin. Christianity views Jesus as the culmination of divine revelation, fulfilling the Old Testament and establishing a new covenant of grace. Islam asserts that Jesus was one in a line of prophets, with Muhammad bringing the final and complete message, which restores the monotheistic message of earlier prophets. Christianity emphasizes sacraments like baptism and communion. Islam focuses on the 5 pillars, including daily prayer, fasting, and pilgrimage. These differences show that Christianity and Islam are shaped by both post-Jesus divergences and pre-existing theological distinctions. Yet, their shared roots reflect a profound connection between the two faiths. Having explored how Christianity evolved post-Jesus, let's delve deeper into the scriptural differences between Islam and Christianity. Specifically, how much of these differences arise from exegesis, directly interpreting Scripture, and eisegesis, imposing external ideas onto the text. Let's start with key points of divergence between the two religions. Christianity introduces the concept of the Trinity, supported by interpretations of verses like Matthew 28, 19 but not explicitly stated in the New Testament. Islam emphasizes strict monotheism as articulated in Surah 112, 1:4, where Allah is described as one, without partners or divisions. From an exegetical perspective, both religions affirm monotheism in their foundational texts. However, the Trinity reflects an eisegetical development shaped by early church councils and Greek philosophical influences. Christianity views Jesus as the Son of God, divine and central to salvation, citing texts like John 3:16. Islam reveres Jesus as a prophet and servant of Allah, born miraculously but without divinity, as seen in Surah 19:35. Islam's depiction aligns more closely with Jesus' statements in the Synoptic Gospels, such as John 17:3, making it exegetical. Christianity's emphasis on Jesus' divinity stems from later theological interpretations, which are eisegetical in nature. Christianity teaches salvation through faith in Jesus, citing Romans 5:12, 21 to explain the concept of original sin and atonement. Islam rejects original sin, emphasizing personal accountability and divine mercy, as seen in Surah 39:53 and Ezekiel 18:20 in the Old Testament. From an exegetical standpoint, Islam's view of individual accountability aligns more closely with earlier scriptural traditions, while Christianity's atonement theology reflects a later eisegetical development. Christianity sees Jesus as the culmination of revelation. Islam asserts that Muhammad is the final messenger, sent to restore monotheism after previous scriptures were altered, as per Surah 33:40 and Surah 2:75. Both claims involve eisegesis when interpreting earlier texts to affirm their respective positions, such as John 14:16 in Christianity or Deuteronomy 18:18 in Islam.
So, which theological framework relies more on eisegesis, and which one aligns more with the original revelations and teachings of the messengers?
Here's the breakdown. Christianity incorporates significant eisegesis, particularly in its doctrines of the Trinity, original sin, and Jesus' divinity. Islam, by contrast, relies more on exegesis, grounding its theology in direct Quranic instruction. However, certain elements such as claims of scriptural corruption and interpretations of previous prophecies about Muhammad also involve eisegesis. Based on an exegetical perspective, Islam's theology aligns more closely with earlier monotheistic teachings, emphasizing continuity with the message of the prophets. Christianity retains key elements of revelation, but diverges significantly in areas shaped by post-Jesus theological expansions.
This analysis helps us see how theologies evolve, shaped by exegesis, cultural context, and historical interpretation. So which tradition holds exclusive truth? Thank you for joining us on AI Theology. If you enjoyed this exploration, like and subscribe for more unbiased theological discussions. Share your thoughts in the comments. How do you see exegesis and eisegesis influencing your faith tradition? Until next time, stay curious and keep seeking truth.